Warning: the following content contains language that may be inappropriate for younger viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome to the Let's Get Heavy podcast, the podcast that dives deep into the heart of heavy music. From the underground to the iconic, I am your host Stevie, and today we're celebrating a massive milestone of 100 episodes. And what better way to celebrate it than with a band that redefined futuristic metal and just made their long-awaited return, and that is Mnemic. Joining me is guitarist and mastermind Mircea from the band, here to talk about the band's reunion, the legacy of the audio injected soul, and what fans can expect for the rest of 2025 and beyond. Buckle up, it's about to get heavy. Mircea, first of all, am I pronouncing the name correctly?
Yes, you are.
Excellent.
Yeah, so pretty much nobody knows how to pronounce my name. It's usually in Danish, it's Mircea. In Romanian, it's Mircea. In the US, it's Mircea. So yeah, I had that my entire life, that problem. So no worries about it. It's all good.
Not a problem. Thank you very much. At any point, just keep us right. But I want to welcome you to the Let's Get Heavy podcast, where we like to highlight bands and try and spread a little bit of positivity throughout the world of metal. Now, today, this is a very special episode for two reasons. First of all, because this is our 100th episode.
Woo.
100 nice. Episodes of the Let's Get Heavy podcast. And two, because I get to speak to yourself, because your band Mnemic was a foundation for me getting into melodic death metal. Through yourselves, I discovered a wave of so many bands, a genre that I wasn't aware of, because at the time I was into just Limp Bizkit, a little bit of Linkin Park. That was my heaviest, if that would explain. And then going to school, discovering Mnemic for the first time, just messing about on the school computers as you do, and you just you discover Nuclear Blast. Nuclear Blast used to give you one free song, and that is how I discovered your band, and I have been hooked ever since I heard Deathbox.
Oh, thank you very much for that.
Absolutely amazing. So apologies, I might get a little bit fanboy at times, so, so I do apologize.
I really appreciate all the attention you're giving us, so thank you very much for that.
No, it's quite all right, mate. Honestly, it's like I say, you for me, I found melodic death metal through yourselves. I found Scar Cemetery, Soilwork, the list goes on, and because of yourselves, we've got now bands like Orbit Culture. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's an amazing, and it's all through yourselves for me. So, but you have been quiet over the past decade. 2024, you announced a comeback, a reunion. After more than a decade away, what sparked Mnemic's reunion?
That's a very good question. I think lots of things. Being away from playing music for a very long time, and I think all of a sudden when that creative outlet stopped and everyone in the band started going different paths in their lives, eventually going into different paths also meant being away from the creative process, from the music and so on. Everyone had different priorities, made families along the way. Gray hair came out, kids came out, life happened basically, and all of a sudden you basically have this. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but you have this this need to cover something, and that's the whole creative aspect of composing music. But the most important, it was to have this connection again, and being away for such a long time. Lots of stuff happened in our lives, but at a certain point, kids got older for some of the band members, and all of a sudden they had a lot of spare time. And this was back in 2023. I reached out to the drummer Brian and sent him a text message, basically asking if he could still play the drums. I hadn't spoken with him for a very long time, for many years, and kind of dropped an idea, and luckily he was super positive about it, and it was like, hey man, I'm ready to do this. And it was the same when I spoke with the singer, with Michael. I mean, he was the very first guy that got very enthusiastic about it. And obviously it was at the right time, at the right place. So we decided to meet up, and the whole point of what I'm saying is basically when we met, it was that spark and that connection that we also had when we were in our 20s. And it was the joy of being connected again and playing and starting playing music, sharing ideas. And when we started playing the old songs, it sparked a lot of joy and happiness. And that was pretty much it. So being away, yeah.
How did it feel stepping back into the rehearsal space for the first time with the original lineup?
It was pretty surreal. It was because the very first time we met, it was actually at Two Madsen's place, our initial producer that produced the very first two albums, and he offered us to come down to his studio to just rehearse. So Brian, the drummer, brought his drums. The rest of the guys, I mean, they brought their old instruments and so on. And when we met each other for the first time, for the first time in the same room, it was surreal. It was really like I became 24 again. So it was like, wow, that's how it actually feels. So yeah, that was really fantastic.
I can imagine there was a wave of emotions flying through each of yous when you all met for the first time. How was that experience for the first time?
I mean, when we started playing the songs, I realized that we still had it, and that spark and that energy just came out of everyone, and you could see everyone smiling. We connected again over the music, and that was really really special for us, especially for being away for such a long time. And doing the same, like being in the hamster wheel for so many years and coming back to a rehearsal space or a studio for that matter, and seeing the other guys, smiling and being in that mindset when you are composing, when you're playing music together, you're just connected on a completely different level. And that was super special for me, at least. And I also know for the guys as well. So it was really great.
Oh, that's amazing. Blowing my mind. That's amazing. Just to hear you all back in the room together. I'm excited for the times ahead. I really am. So has anything changed in your creative dynamic since the early 2000s, or maybe has something stayed the same?
Some things have stayed the same, but I think communication-wise, we have changed as people as well. We are older, we are wiser. Egos are not so inflated as they once were, and we're just adults now. The level of communication is completely different, and there's room for everyone to pitch in with ideas, to collaborate, and I think we are also taking things way much more professional than we have ever done, because before, I mean, there's so many things that have changed, especially within the music industry as well.
Yeah.
Bands have become extremely professional, and we come from the generation, I call it the Pantera home video generation, and it was at a time where you're playing the rock star role, more or less, where you could trash backstage rooms, hotel rooms, the completely Pantera style. And nowadays that has completely shifted, like 180. And now it's about actually delivering a product to someone that is paying for that product, a live show or something like that. And for the very first time, we have taken things to the next level. There's a completely different economic in the band, and we can now we can afford some really professional technicians. We can put on a professional show, and when we have those opportunities, we also need to be very professional and serious about it, because you need to leave an impression to an audience, and if you want to build an audience, you need to put out a good brand, more or less. So it's all about brand building and so on. But at the end of the day, it's about the music. So yeah.
Social media plays a massive role, because social media in the early 2000s, I think you might have had a MySpace, if you remember MySpace back in the day. Some people who might watch us back, what's MySpace? I'm showing my age now.
We're that old, eh?
Yes, exactly. So all we really had was MySpace, really, back in the day. But now social media plays a huge role in the promoting side, and of course Spotify as well, because we're pretty much now in a digital age. CDs have pretty much vanished, in my opinion. And these little bad boys behind me, the vinyls, they're making a massive comeback, as much as it's very expensive, but they're making a massive comeback for collectors. So you're completely right in the way the music landscape has changed since the early 2000s to where we are now. It's massive changes. So, but with sticking on our current chat here, was there purely a personal decision to come back with Mnemic, or through the years while you've been obviously quiet, have you been looking through social media and you can see those people calling, God, I wish Mnemic would come back? Is there would you say there's a key fan moment, maybe, or is it a personal decision?
I wouldn't want to offend anyone or step on anyone's toes, but I think it was a very selfish decision. It was a personal decision. I mean, personally, I went through a lot of stuff in my life, and I needed to basically to do something else, to change some things in my life, and to bring some happiness, some joy. And that was a really good moment in time for me, because throughout the years I completely stopped. Like I left the music industry 110%, more or less, because I was completely burned out. And I wasn't really interested in being part of the music industry either. I basically also stopped almost listening to metal, or at least to the new releases. I stopped following everything, and throughout the years, I mean, I established a family. I had kids. I have kids, and I left the whole, like, my attention was completely shifted to something else. But throughout, being part of a hamster wheel for 10 plus years, I didn't really notice what was happening. What I really craved was that connection again, to play with some of the guys, like have some fun again, like we had in our early 20s. And it was also, I went through a divorce or a separation as well, and this happens in life as well, and that's completely fine. So you kind of, you take different routes in life as well, and that was one of the reasons as well, because all of a sudden you kind of have a lot of spare time, and you all of a sudden can build new things. And I mean, getting back together with the band and restarting everything, that was one of the things that was a new building block in my life. And it wasn't for the people that have listened to our music. I mean, I appreciate and I really love, nowadays I read the comments for everyone that writes. And it's actually really crazy to see that we have people in Brazil, in the US, and the UK, they're writing. And obviously we made some music that some people like out there, and that's really, really rewarding for me. it's fantastic that people can actually use the music and connect, through music. I had several people write. I was going through a hard time in my life. I listened to your music. It helped me a lot. That means the world to me. It's really crazy because music does heal, or at least you can use it somehow therapeutically.
Could not agree more, my friend. Could not agree more on that statement. Like I say, it's your music is key for myself. I was very fanboyed 10 minutes ago, roughly. Uh, it's very key for my growing up. It's everything to me, especially the audio injected soul, which is how I discovered the band. And on that album, after, like I say, looking back, the audio injected soul was ahead of its time, especially with the binaural recording. What inspired that experimentation? Because at the time you were the only band who tried that.
Yeah, I think it was through the university and the city I was living in. There was this company developing this technology, and they were developing it for gaming, I believe, and it was the 3D sound. I heard a demo of that, and it was like, you need to experience that demo. I was experiencing it with the blindfold. Um, the first time I heard it, it was like a door opening, like the door was there, but I was like looking there because I could hear it in 3D sound, and a guy coming in and walks behind me basically, and does some stuff, and I was completely blown away by the effect that demo had, with the sound, where you could, basically move the sound in three-dimensional space. And then I thought, if we could, because we always had that, we were always inspired by sci-fi movies, anything futuristic, novels, and so on. We were very visual when we were also composing the music, and I thought, this could be a really great element to put into a concept of some sort, to have that part of an album, have some sounds rotate around the listener, or something like that. And I believe we contacted that company, AM3D, I think they were called, and we used the plugin or something like that. But I'm not sure if it does have like the full effect on it. I mean, it had very little back then, so it's a long time ago, and the technology has developed quite a lot. So nowadays, you can do so much with so little. So
Which is why it's best to, when you do listen to this album, to anyone who's watching back, and if you haven't listened to it, go back, but listen to it with headphones in, because it is a better experience with headphones in. If you want that full 3D effect that you've just explained, where it feels like the whole thing is around you, my opinion.
So just a question to you: do you feel that there is like a sound moving around your head, or what?
I, when I first heard it, yes,
Oh, okay.
100%, because normally it just, in the past, it feels like it's just coming from either
Yeah.
side. But at the time, I think that maybe is what sparked my love for the album, is because it felt like the whole thing was around us. I felt like I was in a dome with it.
Oh, really? And
So,
it had its effect, I guess. So that's
mm.
pretty cool. That's good to hear.
But like I say, in the majority of my listening, I had the over ear headphones at the time, because I had my dad's old like hi-fi system, and my mother absolutely hated what I listened to because of all that screaming.
Yeah.
And I still remember when I was just a teen, and she used to say, "It's just a phase, Stephen. You'll grow out of it." And here I am, nearly 40, still loving it. But anyway, it's not the point. So yes, I would have to sit and wear over ear headphones a lot when listening to that album, and you did get that full 3D effect.
Great. Great.
It was
Had its
brilliant.
effect then. Did its effect.
So how do you think that album shaped Nemec's identity and legacy?
I think that cemented basically the Mnemic brand somehow. Everything. I just have to admit, like everything on the two first albums were very coincidental. we basically wrote, like, Liquid was written the day before we entered the studio, like the first song on the very first album. Kind of the same with Dream State Emergency from the audio Injected Soul. It was written in a rush. It was done really quickly. I have no clue how we did it, but we were in the rehearsal space quite often, a lot more than we are today, I would say. But that album actually catapulted the band to go to the US. We had many great tours. It also put a lot of pressure on us because the label wanted us to release our Master of Puppets on the third album, and everything kind of broke there right before the third album because Michael left the band and we sort of had to start from scratch. It was like getting punched in the stomach. But that album was the best-selling album we've ever had, and I don't know why, but I think the songs were a bit more accessible than on the first album. And we've always been a band that never really made it into the mainstream, but at the same time, we actually reached other musicians because of the technicality of it, but also because it was accessible somehow. So it's super weird. But that album, the Audio Injected Soul, was a little bit more accessible than the first album. And it had, I think, maybe better melodies or something like that. Nonetheless, great album.
I mean, artwork striking as well. Not too in your face. It's just like, say, the over-ear headphones with the heart in the middle. Absolutely love that. Again, it was because I hadn't heard any music by Mnemic. Straight away, that's what catches my eye first, and that's what makes us want to click on it. So it's the key, that artwork as well. And you mentioned as well, like you said you didn't meet it into the mainstream, but you supported bands like Metallica back in the day, man. I mean, that must have been absolutely amazing experience to have.
It definitely was. It was a really crazy experience. I mean, but all of that was also coincidence. I mean, that was, I think, because I was the guy in the band that pushed for things. Like we need progress. Like everything was always urgent and still is today for me. That's how I am as a person. But back then, I always wanted progress. Like, what's the next gig? What's the next show? What is the next album? And so on. And I was very proactive when it came to the commercial side of the band. I was always the one reaching out to people. It was everything in the music industry is also very relationship based. So I was forging relationships, networking, and so on. But we were also extremely lucky. I mean, we got discovered by this guy called Chris Liebengut, who was a scout for Nuclear Blast, like A&R scout. He discovered us online somewhere. I have no clue. And then we communicated with him and so on. Then we had another, like after we got signed, we had an A&R who was fantastic to work with. And she really helped the band as well. She ended up giving like our CD to a lot of people in LA. The A&R in LA also helped us tremendously. We became really good friends. Gerardo Martinez, absolutely fantastic guy. I think he or someone else was responsible for dropping our CD, the very first album, to when Slipknot were recording Subliminal Verses. And when that album came out, we were like, wait a minute, didn't they steal the Ghost riff? I don't know if this is true at all, but there's so many similarities in that one song. But it's to say we did everything possible. I was pushing for the band all the time. The main reason we ended up playing with Metallica was primarily because through connections, we were on the Deftones tour, and I approached Abe's drum tech. I heard that he was basically Lars's drum tech as well, and he was Danish. So I approached him with the CD. I was like, hey man, like I wasn't counting on anything whatsoever. I was like, hey man, I would really appreciate it if you can take this CD. If you could give it to Lars, it would mean the world to me. I would, you know. And then that was it. I didn't think about it. I was like, not in a million chances. He's going to throw that CD out because that's what you usually do in some cases when somebody random comes up to you or something like that, or you don't know the person, or I don't know. But all of a sudden, we get an email, like being on the Deftones tour, we're about to end the tour. We get an email from Metallica's management and booking agent saying, "Hey, they want you guys to support them." I was like, "What the hell?" Yeah, so that was like, again, some events trigger other events, and if I never reached out to that guy, some other band would have gotten that gig. So it's like also a little bit of coincidence. It's a little bit of luck as well. It's not the music itself. It's a lot of parameters around that. So
there's a scene here in the UK, and particularly in my area of Newcastle upon Tyne, shy bands getting out, which pretty much means if you do not try, you're never gonna know. And you took a shot, and because of that shot, you got that tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keith, and that's for anyone listening. If you don't try, you're not going to get anywhere. So you tried, and look what paid off.
And if you don't fail, you never learn. So try and fail as many times as possible, because this is the best way to learn in life as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, getting that CD made us support Metallica first year, and then afterwards getting some connections, we ended up supporting them the following year with Machine Head in Europe. So that was like even more mind blowing. But again, you have to take action to get some results. Pretty simple.
Wow, that is absolutely sick, that mate. Absolutely sick. But back on to the audio injected soul. Are there any tracks that you're especially excited to revisit live?
The ones we can play.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there are a bunch of tracks. I mean, we have played some of them, like Jack Vegas, Overdose in the Hall of Fame, Dream State Emergency. Door 2.12 is like the single from that album, which is really fun to play live. It's super energetic, and the crowd connects and so on. We played that as one of the last songs. So I mean,
Jack Vegas.
Jack Vegas as well, yeah. We're playing that one live. It has a really great melody. It has a good groove, yeah. And then there's some of the other songs which have some technical elements, and we haven't really revisited those because it takes some time to learn and so on.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Would you ever reconsider re-recording or remastering this album with today's tech, maybe? Or do you feel it belongs in that 2000 era?
It's actually a good question. We haven't really thought about it. I mean, what do you think we should do?
I mean, I personally enjoy how it is and sounds, but maybe it's for a anniversary edition, maybe.
Maybe yeah.
It is over 20 years now since it's released. Yeah, maybe it's a special edition we released. Maybe if you any songs that you may have cut off the album, maybe re-add them to the album. Vinyl release, maybe. I wouldn't mind getting my hand on a vinyl release, of course. But yeah,
sounds like a good idea. This is definitely something we can consider.
Cool.
That would be really great.
And finally, fans still talk about your cover of Wild Boys.
Oh yeah.
What made you choose this track, and how did you approach reimagining it?
Oh geez, I can't remember how and why we chose that track. I think one of the main elements for us, we've been a band that always worked from a framework where we said, okay, if it sounds like something else or close to something, we're not going to use it. Also, I think a lot of bands or some bands do covers, the bands that do cover songs of other metal bands. If you're in a metal band and doing a cover song of another metal band, it's completely boring to us, at least. So we thought, let's try to do a cover song of Duran Duran, an 80s song, because somebody in the band liked Duran Duran. I mean, we all like Duran Duran.
I was just about to say, which member was the fan of Duran Duran?
I think it's Michael.
He's just been outed.
Yeah. But I think we wanted to do something unconventional, basically. We wanted to do something different. We always wanted to be different. So doing a Duran Duran song, we wanted to, just like I think Typo Negative did something similar. They made their own song and then they put, I think it's Cinnamon Girl or something like that. It doesn't sound like, a one-to-one copy to Cinnamon Girl. And we kind of took that as an inspiration and said, we want to build something around this that is not a one-to-one to the Duran Duran song. And I think it was, I think we succeeded with that because it turned out, strangely enough, a lot of people like that song, and I have no clue why. Because to me, it ain't that special, but I guess it grooves, and some people like it, so that's great. I'm happy that it turned out that way.
Share a little funny story for you. So I remember playing that song in my house when I was a teenager, and my mom was like, "What is this?" Because my mom was a huge Duran Duran fan.
Oh,
What is this? And I was like, "It's just Wild Boys by Mnemic." And no, this is a cover. I was like, "It's not a cover." No, she argued with us that this is Duran Duran. I was like, I was just metal. It was metal or nothing. And I was like, Mnemic would never cover Duran Duran. And she led us downstairs and took out our Duran Duran CD, showed us the look, Wild Boys, and she even played it for us. I was like, what?
really? Wow.
Just didn't know. Like I say, I was just a
But
teenager.
You never heard Duran Duran before, or what?
At that time, when I was 17, no, never
Wow.
really listened.
So the very first time you heard Duran Duran was
through you.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. That's great. Love it.
Through yourselves.
And what do you think about the real Duran Duran version?
It's good, but it's not as good. It's not Mnemic. It's good. It's good, but it's not Mnemic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the Duran Duran fans out there, but it's not Mnemic.
They're probably not listening, so that's fine. I'm happy to hear that. That's a really great story. So that made a different.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a little bit of family history between me and my mum. It was funny.
Nice.
So going forward, though, what can fans expect from a possible upcoming tour?
Upcoming tour.
Or any live shows in the future?
Live shows in the future, we're playing a really good blend of Mechanical Spin Phenomena songs and the Audio Injected Soul songs. We recently also played, this summer we played the Copenhagen Festival in Denmark. It's one of the biggest heavy metal festivals in Denmark. And we also did a tribute to Guillaume Bideux, who's our late singer that came after Michael. And we played Diesel Uters off of Sons of the System, I think. And we are basically focusing on the very first two albums because that's the original lineup, how we started. And hopefully there's going to be some new material as well, but we'll see. So, yeah.
Are there any cities or festivals you're especially might be excited to hit for the first time?
For the first time. We're excited to hit any type of city, any festival. There's no preferences here. Next year, we're going to be playing Czech Republic, Poland, hopefully UK as well, Denmark. Yeah. But we're not going out on a full tour. We're not, we're in a different place in our lives right now. And I mean, if the right offer comes and it's the right setup and the stars align and all that stuff, we might go out on a tour, but that's highly unlikely. However, I'm not going to say never, but
yeah.
And we'll see what type of set list we'll have. Maybe it's going to be 80% old material, 20% new material. We'll see about that. So yeah.
And how would you be balancing nostalgia with innovation in your live shows?
The innovation element in our shows.
Yeah.
So this time around, we have actually invested in a really large light production. We have a light designer with us, and also some, like, for the next show, we'll have some stage props as well. So we have been heavily investing into the visuals of of the stage and the production itself. During the Copenhagen Festival, we had pyro and everything. It's not like we're gonna have pyro for every show, but some of those type of elements, and we're incorporating like the colors from the very first two albums as well. Yeah, so should be
Cool.
way much more innovative than it was over 20 years ago, because that was really scrappy when we started out. That was yeah.
Yeah. And you touched on briefly about some possibly new music, or are you primarily focused on reconnecting with the band's legacy?
I might as well say it as it is,
Hmm.
but absolutely 110%. We have for some months I think for the last half year we have been discussing whether to actually see if we were capable of writing new material at all, and how we should approach that, what we should do. And I'm not going to promise anything. I'm not going to say anything, but being completely honest and transparent, it's a very slow process for us. But at the same time, I can tell you that we have actually, it's like it was really hard for us to start because, I mean, for me personally, it was hard. It was I didn't really have anything in me and so on. And all of a sudden, in the last like recently, it was like the ketchup effect. A lot of stuff came out, and basically we have also the other guys. I know Rune, the other guitar player. He actually took out like brushed out some really old riffs as well, and I thought that they sound super fresh. So we actually have some material, and we have started composing new material, and I have no clue when we will be 110% satisfied to actually put everything together and release it, but we're working on that. And at some point, whenever we are ready, we'll go out with new material, and that's we're super excited about it because it has sparked this creative process again for us, which we had back then, and I thought we completely lost that after so many years, but we haven't. It's we When we started and we met each other in the rehearsal space and we started discussing this and starting putting pieces together, it was just like old days. So yeah, I'm super excited, but I also know it takes time. But I'm looking very much forward to be releasing new material. So
I'm excited as well. I can't wait to hear
thank you.
possibly with some new music down the horizon, and maybe you can either venture into the UK. Bloodstock is a great little festival here in the UK, which I feel you guys would be perfect on. So reach out to Vicky Hungerford, the booker of that festival. Amazing. So I would love to see you in that space, basically. So
Would love to play.
if not 2026, there's always 2027. But
Exactly.
somewhere down the line, I hope to see you guys live because I've never had that chance to see you guys live in a live setting before. So I would love that opportunity.
We need to make that happen. Bloodstock, if you're watching this, then we want to play for Steven.
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm going to send that to Vicky just after this.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Finally, what message do you want to send to longtime fans and to those maybe even discovering Mnemic for the first time in 2025?
To all the longtime fans, I would like to thank everyone for still having an interest into the band and still listening to our music and showing us attention. And it's really, it makes us really happy to read all the comments and all the feedback that we get. And also that obviously we haven't been totally forgotten, and that we actually created some music that still counts today for some people, which is tremendous. And for that, we're super thankful. Keep listening, keep streaming the music, and we're looking very much forward to be releasing new music in a not so distant future, hopefully. And we're super excited to actually know what you think about that music. So please be patient. We're working on some new stuff, but we can't really say when. So thank you very much for following the band. We appreciate it.
Lovely. Well, so this part of the interview, it's normally a bit of fun, bit of light humor. So are you up for a little bit of a challenge?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know our mutual friend Sam. Big love to Sam, by the way, for making this stream happen. This interview had take place. I hope he hasn't given too much away in what we normally do. So we've got what's called the Geordie Challenge. Now, the Geordie Challenge, if you're not familiar, Geordies is the nickname of people who live in Newcastle upon Tyne, which is where I'm from.
Okay.
Every major city in the UK has a nickname. So Londoners are your Cockneys, Liverpool, Scousers, Brummies, Birmingham, so on and so on. And Newcastle, we're known as Geordies, and it comes back from the old mining days, back in like the late 1800s. And we've got quite a distinct accent. It's kind of a bit Scottish, a bit Germanic, a bit Nordic, because where I am actually from, I am in Northumberland, if you remember, which is where the Vikings originally raided.
So Northumbria or something like that?
Northumbria, that's correct. That's where I am. So I'm just outside of Newcastle, and I'm in Northumberland. So about a 45-minute drive away from Lindisfarne, if you get Holy Island as it's known to ourselves. So, like I say, we've got a bit of an accent. It's been held back, but that's going out the window. I'm going to give you 5 Geordie phrases. You have to try and guess what they would mean in standard English or standard Danish for yourself. Are you ready to try?
Absolutely.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. So the first one, if you need them in a sentence as well, let us know. I'll use it in a sentence. So the first one is purely belter.
Sorry, what?
Purely belter.
Purely belter. And you want me to guess what that means?
Yes.
Can I use ChatGPT? Purely belter.
I don't even think ChatGPT would even know what it means.
Purely belter.
You see, if you need in a sentence.
Oh man. Yeah, can you
Yeah.
give some
So the
context?
the audio injected soul is purely belter.
Oh, it's another word for amazing, awesome, kick-ass.
Really good. That
Ah,
right.
so you say belter.
Yeah, purely belter.
Okay. All right. I have one for you though.
Oh, okay, go on.
Shambles.
Shambles. I mean, there's a place in York called Shambles. Could
Yeah.
that be it?
No.
No? Okay.
Shambles was I heard this from Jeff Walker from Carcass.
That's an absolute shambles. So it's like terrible sort of thing.
A butcher. I think it's something with intestines. Shambles. It was something used by butchers or something like that. I can't
Oh
remember.
wait.
See, I'm not
Yeah.
even from the UK.
Like it's an absolute shambles. That's something that's what I would have maybe associated with.
Okay,
Number
give me
two. Number two, a little bit harder. I'm gannon yem.
going home.
Mate, I think you're the fastest one to get that right.
Oh, really? Okay. That sounds very. Can you say that again?
I'm gannon yem.
Gunning yam. So yam in Danish, it's home. Gunning yam home.
There we
Okay.
go.
So that's
People of Northumbria. Now we know where it comes from.
yeah, exactly. I think it's the Viking influence, the
Mm,
Mnemic language influence.
there we go. So, number 3. Clamming for me bait.
Say that again.
Clamming for me bait.
I have a disgusting beard.
I mean, I didn't think it was that bad.
No, 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 no.
But no, not quite.
Give me some context.
So normally what you would do before a show, you would normally meet with friends, uh, go to a place, drinks, and have some on top of your drinks. Sometimes you might have
Something nasty happening.
no the restaurant vibes, maybe.
Say that again.
A restaurant vibe sort of thing.
Okay.
So I'm
A flirt,
clamming. So,
flirtatious moment of some sort, and then
so I quite go to a bar, order drinks. What else? What else can you normally order at a bar?
what else you can order at a bar? Depends on what type of bar it is.
Valid point. Valid point. Mm.
So say that again. So
So
it was
I'm clamming for me bait.
I'm coming from the beard.
Bait. Bait. So it's BAIT. Bait.
So I'm going after a woman or what?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Hmm.
I'm really hungry. I
Oh, that
want. I
type
want.
of bar. Okay, that's okay, okay. Because the bars in Denmark,
Mhm,
usually it's all about alcohol and drinking. Vikings, they the only thing they know, that's when they can talk about the feelings, right? That's
mhm.
when they open up. It's through alcohol.
Right.
And
Yeah.
usually at bars, so that's the cultural differences, because in the UK you can get fish and chips at all the bars,
That's
probably.
correct. Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
In Denmark, you just go and drink at the bars.
That's where we're going wrong, UK. It should just be like the Danish. You just have
No, no, you
like
have
it.
delicious food in the UK. I mean, that you can actually go out and hammer and then eat food and continue. So,
So, number 4. Uh, he was gone proper Raj.
okay. Shit.
He was
Uh,
gunning proper Raj.
he was going probably after something. I don't know.
So, your Nemec's on stage. You turn around and look at Michael because you can see the crowd in front of you. And you should see Steve. He's gone proper Raj in the pit.
Oh my God. Uh, mm, he's gone completely crazy in the pit.
Yeah!
Ah, okay.
Got, he's gone proper Raj in the mosh pit. Like proper going for it. Raj, crazy, angry
Oh,
sort of thing.
rage. Got it. Got it.
Mm.
Okay, great.
So the last one. And I have to say this because everyone seems to think I'm saying something completely out of context, and it's not what you think it is.
Okay.
But the last one is Giz a Deeks. You see, everyone does it. 100 episodes and it never fails.
Say that again. Say that again.
Giz a Deeks.
It's not something with Cox, is it?
No,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Giza Dix?
Deeks. So
Deeks?
Deeks.
Deeks. Okay. Deeks. Deeks. Give
So
me.
your additional guitar player is Rune. Hope I'm saying his name correctly. Um, he brings a new guitar. You have never seen it before, and he puts it on the table. Mircea, I've got a new guitar. So your response would be, what's your first response to him? He
That's
hasn't shoot you haven't seen it. It's in his case in front of you, and he hasn't opened it. So and he keeps big. I've got a new guitar, Mircea.
so I'm
So
excited. I want to know how it looks, I guess.
there it is. Can I have a look?
Can I have a look? Wow, I
Mm.
wouldn't have guessed that in a million years.
Yeah, gives it deeks.
Okay. Nice. Okay, and where does that come from?
I've no idea. It's been around since I was born. Basically, I couldn't tell you where it's originated from. It's just the way we've always talked.
Shambles. All right. That was really inspiring. That was I learned something new today. Uh,
So it's always a good laugh. Um, and you never know if you come to the northeast, here in the UK, it gives you. Oh, wait. To be fair, you knew quite a bit of the way we spoke, so you might probably know a bit more than what you actually think, because being
Yeah.
Northumbrian, you might pick it up quite easy than what you think.
Well, let's see.
Hmm.
Would love to pick it up. Would love to come for a visit. I think that would be a really amazing experience. And if I understood a little bit of it, well, great success.
Definitely, if you are able to come over, definitely do Lindisfarne, aka Holy Island. It's a lovely experience. It's absolutely fantastic. And then if you just travel a little bit further north, should I say, you'll come to New Asgard, as they called it in the
I come up.
Avengers. I think they called it in the Avengers movie. They actually got the sign up that says New Asgard, so
Great.
it's pretty sweet.
Amazing. I would love to see that. I'd love to experience that. Let's
Mm.
see. Let's make that happen.
Definitely, definitely, my friend. Thank you so much, Mircea, for your time, having a chat with me, giving up some of your precious free time. It's truly been an
Hey,
honor.
absolutely, absolutely the same to you. Really, super thankful for having me on this. It's not every day this happens, so thank you very much for the attention and for the opportunity to discuss a little bit about the music and our past in regards to Mnemic. Uh, Thank you very much, Stephen. I hope to see you in the UK at some point, at Bloodstock maybe. Fingers
Mm.
crossed. We'll see. Thank you very
That'd
much.
be absolutely sick. Big love to Sam as well for making this happen.
Thank you very much for that.
Can't thank that man an absolute enough. Before you do go, I will leave you with the Get Heavy Creed, which is the rules of the pit or the rules for life. When somebody falls, we pick them up. That is our motto. That is our creed. Which is what we believe in. We tell everybody to, no matter what, be there for one another.
I 100% support that and really love that framework you're basically telling about. So really appreciate that. And I back it up 100%. So
Thank
great.
you, my friend.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Take care, man.